anime tower defense on Roblox.
So what is anime tower defense video games on Roblox? Let's start off with the most popular one currently at the time of making this video, Anime Adventures. Now this game itself is one of my favorites. I play it a little, from time to time. I'm not on it too much, but it's a good game. It's got a good player base, averages over 100,000 players. Mechanics aren't too hard. It's not that hard to play. But the one we'll be talking about today is called Anime Vanguards. Now, why are we talking about Anime Vanguards today? Anime Vanguards used to be one of the biggest games on this platform, but what happened to it? What happened to the biggest game, the AA killer, the ASTD killer? What happened to Anime Vanguards, and why did it fall off? Anime Vanguards was a very promising game when it first started. It was averaging over 300k players, 200k sometimes, maybe 100k. It was a decent tower defense game whenever it came down to it. The first few updates for this game, it was decent. I would have to say it was honestly, it had potential to be the AA killer. AA wasn't even here anymore, but, after a while, everybody's going to forget about it if this game keeps it up. We had the Jujutsu Kaisen update, which was really promising for the game. They did some weird stuff with it at first, dropping the JJK update, teasing some units that, weren't even in the update, and waited around a month before they even dropped the units. And I'd say that was contributing to the community kind of giving some backlash there. And, I'd say they dug themselves that own hole. But besides that, with the whole JJK update, the game was fine. The game wasn't bad. The game wasn't, falling off at all. You'd think they would keep it up, not change anything too different, and, they would just keep the same pattern and just keep growing like that. To keep a game, especially a tower defense game, non-repetitive and somewhat fun while we're waiting for updates, you need to give a reason to play after you're finished. With most games, how it is, you have a reason to farm before an update comes out. Let's say perfect example is AA. You would play AA, you probably get all the stuff you can get, maybe you got all the meta units and everything, and an update's gonna come out within this next week. So you're like, okay, I need to start farming these gems, these materials for stuff, that way I can be ready for the next update. With Vanguards, they decided they were going to change something when they released their Don update. I think it was update 2. They decided they were going to throw the entire gem currency under the bus and make a completely new currency that you could only get from said event, and then lock the brand new units behind said currency, and even lock a exclusive rare unit that is, if I'm not wrong, the hardest unit to get in the entire game. And you need to spend that same exact currency for the evolution items for those units. So you're wasting your time playing the same event, which, mind you, if I'm not wrong, doing a single run, which is around 40 to 50 minutes, gives you only 2 to 3 multi-summons on said banner. So if you were to grind the event out all day, you would probably only come out to around 20 to 30 multi-summons the entire day. And then you have to factor in the fact that if you do pull those units, you need to grind again for the evolution items. And I don't just mean they put some units behind this and then they made new banner units for the gems. No, I mean they completely threw out everything about the gems and decided they were going to put all the brand new units behind this new currency that you had to farm for and just do all this and that. And then you're also farming for all these other units that are also meta. I think the first reason why Vanguards did fall off from where it was from, they were going to branch off the regular gem currency and make a completely new currency that you had to grind for that was very tedious to grind for. So there was no way to prepare for this update unless you want to farm the evolution stones that you have to use for Vanguard's evolution essences, whatever they're called. The gems, I'll say from personal experience, I had 100,000 gems saved up just off of plain AFKing throughout nights. There was no reason to because the gem currency was thrown out the window. So it was basically useless for their entire community to farm for absolutely nothing. Perfect comparison. When it comes to AA at least added units for the new update onto their gym banner, and those units are meta. Those units are meta units. Instead of putting everything new on that banner, they decided to put some on gems. That way people who have a ton of gems can still get the new units instead of having to farm the event for these units that they want. The second reason I think Anime Vanguards fell off from its podium was the delays. The updates, I think it took about maybe 2 months for the first update for Anime Vanguards to come out, which is understandable. You need to get on your feed for this first update. It's a really big first impression, so I completely understand taking your time with the first one. When the second update came out, there was, oh, we have an announced date for this one. Okay, we get to that announced date. Nothing throughout the whole day, maybe within the last 3 hours of the day, around 10 to 9 p.m., they put an announcement out saying, hey, we're sorry, we're gonna have to delay this update for maybe another week or so. Everything's not really polished. And trust me, I can understand having to delay your game for reasons that are, development wise. Maybe there's a bug going on you guys don't get, that you guys haven't fixed yet. There's a few glitches, the units aren't done, VFX, there's many reasons an update can be delayed. That's understandable. You're not gonna, your game's not gonna die because you have to delay an update. That's perfectly fine. The reason your game will die is if you keep promising release dates and having to delay them constantly, which is what they did 3 times, or maybe more. I could be wrong. I've been out of the AV situation for at least a few months. Saying an update is going to be this day, having your entire community ready for it, boom, 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 we get to that day, last 5 hours of the day, and then you decide to then make an announcement that, hey,
sorry, the update is delayed, we're going to have to push it back a week, push it back a few days, this and this and this.
Okay, we get to the next release date, last 5 hours of the day.
Sorry guys, we're going to have to push back the update. Sorry.
And then it's just on repeat. If you do not have confidence in your development team to have a release date ready for an update, do not drop a release date. Because if you're not ready, you're just going to disappoint your community. You're going to cause backlash from the community. You're just going to have people quit the game. There's no point in guaranteeing an update time when you do not guarantee it yourself. Having you constantly say, release date is this, delay. Release date is this, delay. It just makes people think that your game is an exit scam. I'm gonna be honest, that's exactly what you're making your game look like. That's exactly what it's gonna look like the entire time. Having your game delay itself multiple times is not a community issue, it is your issue. Do not cause yourself to run into that issue when you do not have confidence in your development team to be there on due date. It's that simple. There's no way around it. And again, I'm gonna mention AA during this because it's a perfect example. I'm not a big AA player, so do not put in these comments,
glazing AA, AA glazer.
I don't even play AA like that. I didn't even play when it first came out. I played on the re-release. AA doesn't drop release dates. They don't announce anything. Are they non-transparent? Yes, they're very non-transparent. They don't say anything, they don't do anything. But when they put that video out and they put that release date, that's when they put it. Honestly, most of the time it is the same day or the same weekend. They don't put weeks in advance. When they're ready for the update, they let us know and they drop it. It's that simple. You can either be transparent and delay it, you can be transparent and do it perfectly, drop it on the same release date, or don't be transparent at all and still, last second, say, updates today, updates this weekend, drop the update. Because at least you're not delaying your game. At least you're not making fake promises to your community. And the final and third reason why I personally think Vanguards fell off is because of the final kicker. The titan of anime tower defense games came back. AA re-released. Everything was gonna die. Vanguards fell off, Reborn fell off, every other anime tower defense game you could think of fell off. All-Star even fell off, and they had to come back with their own remake trailer announcing a remake for All-Star. AA had so much influence on the anime tower defense community that it was literally insane. If I'm not wrong, Vanguards dropped to I think under 1,000 players within the first day of AA's re-release. I think Reborn, it didn't even have 1,000 players. And the other games are just self-explanatory. AA was the biggest tower defense game to come back. And the fact that it came back during Vanguard's downfall was just salt on the wound at that point. It just made it worse. There was no coming back after AA came back out. Even to this day, AA has, if I'm not wrong, 300k concurrent players right now. And it's been, I think, a month off of release. And if I'm not wrong, they're dropping their update maybe this weekend. The combination of all three of these reasons was just the worst thing that could have happened for Vanguards. And honestly, I think Reborn was killing it first before AA even came back, because Reborn was just a better game. It just had better quality, and it was just up there with everything else. And Reborn also fell off for one of the same reasons Vanguards fell off, which I'll decide if I want to make a video on that in the future. Vanguards was a good tower defense game. There's no doubt about it. It did its job the way it was supposed to. It had a good player base, but just like everything else, not every game is going to live forever. It just goes to show that even if your game tops out at 300, 400k players concurrently, you could still hit under 1,000. I want to thank you guys so much for making all the way to the end of this video. I really do appreciate you. If you did enjoy these types of videos, please do me a favor. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button. And please comment what kind of videos you want me to do next. You know, if you do like these kind of videos, let me know. I'll make some more videos like this. I actually really enjoyed making this video because it had one of my experiences in it. I really liked playing Vanguards back then, but seeing the game die like how it did, it really did make me upset, and I wanted to be the person to say something about it. So please do subscribe if you like this. Please like, and if you did enjoy it, please comment anything you want to see from me in the future. I really do appreciate you. Hope everybody has a good rest of your day. God bless you.